I am muted. Hi, everybody. What's up? Thanks, Rob. I'll bring Rob on in a few minutes, but if you didn't hear me, hi, my name is Taylor, and welcome to the Above the Yellow Line live stream. I was muted because I'm in a different location, if you cannot tell. I am not in the normal studio, so we had some dogs barking outside. Didn't want that in the stream, so I apologize for y'all. But yeah, so what we're going to be doing is we are going to be doing a Darlington tier list for the throwback schemes that we have so far. So I'm going to be bringing in Rob to help me kind of go through those as he's really good at graphic design. We'll talk about that, I am pretty sure. He also did the Above the Yellow Line logo, which I will also show off as well. You all know it. I'm wearing it on a shirt, which is pretty cool. Well, it's a work in progress, always a work in progress. But yeah, if you're ready, I'll add you in the stream. Are you good? Awesome. All right. I'm going to add Rob into the stream. All right. Hey, Rob, how are you doing?
Hey, what's up? Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining the stream. I appreciate it.
I am so happy to be here. This is so rad.
So if you don't know, well, I guess you probably don't know, but we have not actually met like face to face yet at all. We've just been back and forth on Twitter all the time. So it's so cool to finally like one, put a face to the name, and two, actually get to talk to you, which is awesome.
Yeah, that's the funny thing, because my Twitter doesn't exactly have my face. My actual face anyway.
And you make like the really fun caricatures, which you actually made one of me a while ago, like a few months ago. I don't know, and I love it so much.
Yeah, I think it was when we first started following each other.
Yeah, that's crazy. Oh my gosh! So tell them a little bit about yourself, what you do. Yeah, just a little bit about yourself.
All right. Well, my name's Rob, even though you guys know that already. I am a freelance graphic designer and photographer. I am based in Boston. I just graduated from Boston University I'm getting old. I can't remember. Oh, it was a year ago. Oh, I graduated a year ago. Nice.
Oh my goodness.
And I do a little work for BU, but most of my work is in motorsports. I am the self-appointed creative director for the Granite State Pro Stock Series.
Nice.
It's a super late model racing tour based in New Hampshire. We basically go to every track in New Hampshire. I was a photographer last year, and I started to do a lot more social media management, graphic design, videography, and so we all just kind of do it for fun. And I just said, you know what, I'm going to give myself this title. And the president of the series was like, yeah, that's fine. It's like, I can put it on a resume for later. And yeah, aside from that, I partner with a PR rep, Sousa Media, Kyle Sousa. And I've partnered with a track promoter, Josh Venata, JDV Productions. And I do a lot of graphic design work and photography work for them. I got to design 4 logos for NASCAR Wheelie Modified Tour races this year, which is really rad. And then I just do work for like their clients. So they have, clients that race in the NASCAR Wheelie Modified Tour. So I do a lot of work for Justin Bonsignor, who's 2-time defending champion, 3-time overall champion. I'm on like a text basis with him, which is pretty rad. And Patrick Emmerling, who is actually racing in the Xfinity Series this weekend. I am doing stuff for him. If you see his logo around, I designed the logo. I also designed the logo for Justin Bonsignor too. Trying to think of anything else like racing relevant. I came from a family of drag racers, and both my parents did it. That's how they met.
Oh wow! Oh my gosh, that's so cool. So racing's been with you like kind of, your whole life, pretty much.
Yeah, but I started watching when I was like 10, and honestly, I was basic kid from like early 2000s. Like the movie Cars got me into it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah.
If Cars doesn't get anybody into NASCAR, like as a kid, I don't know what does.
Mm-hmm.
It's because I don't want to say that's what got me into it, but I was like, wow, Lightning McQueen, that's really cool. And I actually, on Twitter earlier this week, I think I actually discovered that Lightning McQueen is I got a correction for it. I think he's like 45, which is nuts because I didn't put an age
I
to it,
love
and I was like, oh my god.
I love the like expanded universe of cars. I think it's the funniest thing. And honestly, it's super rad.
It's so weird to wrap your brain around, actually,
Yeah.
just because you have to think through like, how did the cars take over the world? And you have to think about all these like factors.
I've read some like theories about that, and
There's some crazy stuff.
oh, they're
There's some crazy
terrifying.
stuff.
They're terrifying.
No, it's oh gosh, I was watching what was it? I don't want to say I watched Smosh because that's like I feel like that's like an automatic like, oh wow, she watches Smosh. But no, I used to watch Smosh all the time, still kind of do. And some of the members that left actually talked about like the whole theories behind how the Cars world was made up. And I'm not gonna talk
Yeah,
about it here.
it gets weird because they try to make it to where like it all fits in with like Pixar is all connected, and in
Yeah,
order to connect it all, they get really weird with it.
it gets dark.
Trust me, studying film, I had a lot of friends that were like into that, like into like
Oh yeah.
you know into the lore, and I was like,
No.
I'm gonna go take my pretty photos.
You're like, I'm a back out. So you studied film or did you study
Yeah,
which okay, so
I studied film and television production, but I only
see,
technically studied for 2 years because I started college as well. I went to community college for 2 years, and
gotcha.
then transferred to Boston University as a vocal performance major. So I did like opera and
You did everything. You did everything.
I was a former theater kid.
Oh yeah,
Through
theater
and
kids are
through,
great.
even like last
Yeah.
year, like I was vice president of my theater troupe last year,
Wow.
before I graduated. But yeah, so I decided after a year that I just wanted to minor in it. And I knew I wanted to go into comm, and I was like, you know what? Film is probably gonna give me the best shot I have at something. And the first class was photo based, and I really took to that. It was also the same time the Red Sox were going on their 2018 World
Oh,
Series
there you
run,
go.
and yeah, so I was down at Fenway Park every Friday night, just
Well,
like outside the park taking photos and stuff. It was before they had like the actual like barricades on like Jersey Street and Lansdowne Street.
yeah.
So I could actually like get really close to the park. You can't really do that anymore, unfortunately. But and also I live. I can walk to Fenway Park. I've done it before, but it takes me about like an hour and a half.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, it's a long walk, but I walk a lot.
I mean, I would not. I would pass out. I'd fall right on my face. I cannot walk that far. That's crazy. So you made this logo. I'm gonna put it up on the screen here. You made this beautiful logo for me.
Yes, I did.
And
I
I'm a
noticed the
little in
shirt. I
love with
like
it.
the shirt.
Yeah, thank you.
Is that
We're trying shirts. It's a logo.
is it
That's it.
Redbubble?
It is not Redbubble. So hopefully we'll have some merch on tobychristie.com soon for Above the
Okay.
Yellow Line, but this was something that we tried to DIY with a website or
Mm,
something called Cricut. Um
okay.
so we tried it. And shout out to my dad for being the one to try this because I was home when it was a holiday for Easter and I wasn't there. So also this is like my home. So I'll be back and forth this whole month. So this is a different location. But yeah, so we tried it. It looks a little vintagey because it's not like it's not all together, but that's totally
Yeah,
fine. I
but it's
still
like
love it.
it's got like the distressed thing, which is like
Yeah,
it was one of the things I gave you to start with. I put like a overlay.
exactly. No, and I love
Yeah,
that. So
so it works. It's great.
different styles. But yeah, so when did you start like actually doing like more like graphic design stuff? Because it'll lead us into looking at these cars. But like
Yeah,
I'm curious, like how long have you
good
been doing
idea.
it?
Good idea. Yeah, so I feel like I'd always been like kind of enamored with graphic design. I always loved the paint schemes of race cars. I became a Kansas City Chiefs fan when I was 10 because I liked the helmet design. Um, and so eventually I was gonna find it, but when I worked for our university's satire publication, I did a little bit of graphic design for that, and I was like, "Oh, this is kind of cool. Like, I mean, I enjoy this." And so I took a communications non-major graphic design class, spring of 2020. We all know what happened in spring of
Oh
2020,
yes, it's a time
and
we choose to forget. We just choose to forget.
it turns out graphic design makes a really great quarantine hobby. Because I literally, I mean, honestly, I did what I do now for work is just sit at my computer all day and just make stuff, at least, except for now I, get paid to do it.
Which is great.
But yeah, I learned a lot of stuff there. Still just kind of did it casually. If you know the Dan Patrick Show, I
Yes.
I designed a T-shirt for them in like May 2020. It was like a T-shirt
Oh, neat.
contest, and I got everybody I knew to vote for my shirt. Some of my friends found out that you could vote more than once.
Oh, well,
Um,
there you go.
and yeah, so I have the T-shirt somewhere. It's a fun design. But I was still really a novice at it. And I just kind of kept doing it. I'm really trying to rack my brain, trying to figure out how I got here.
Yeah,
And
and sometimes it just happens.
yeah, I think it
It
more
just
took
happens.
I think it more so took off when I was a graphic design intern my last semester at BU. Um, I mean, it was all like remote. You're not going to see any of my stuff like on the BU page, but I worked under our graphic designer at the time, and she's fantastic to the point where now she's one of the graphic designers for the Red Sox. Um,
Nice.
and so she really taught me a lot about Photoshop because I honestly I didn't know anything about Photoshop. So after I graduated, I started to do more graphic design stuff for Granite State. And luckily, again, they're a series, they just want to have fun. So I literally have just like a fresh palette in that series to do
Oh,
whatever I
nice.
want. We started doing winter stickers this year because I sent so the PR rep that I work with is a PR rep for Granite State. So it works out really well that like he and I
Gotcha.
can
Okay.
work really close together. And so I sent him like a proof of the sticker. I was like, "Can we order these and put them on the cars when the drivers win?" He's like, "Yeah."
Just like,
So
"Okay."
yeah, so I think that's probably where I really kind of cut my teeth doing this. And then of course he had a bunch of other clients, and he started working with the track promoter. And so in like late December, that's when they started to kind of bring me in to do a bunch of stuff. Because honestly, back in like November, I was like, I'm a photographer. And
Yeah.
like, this is like what this is the bulk of what I do. Now, I feel like I'm both, but I feel like I'm more of a graphic designer than a photographer at this point.
And it's good to have both those skills, especially because one, you can use your own photos sometimes when you do Photoshop. So
Oh,
it's like
exactly.
it's a
I
twofold skill.
Yeah, the track promoter, his brother races in like a super truck series in Seekonk, Massachusetts, which is actually I think it's the only asphalt track in Massachusetts.
Oh,
I don't even know if
dang. Yeah.
there's a dirt track in Massachusetts, to be honest.
Oh
But
gosh.
they but he hired me to do his hero card,
Oh,
and
that's cool.
I told him, I said, "Well, Seekonk's like 45 minutes from me. Why don't I just come down like your opening day and just shoot what I'm looking for? That way I don't have to rely on other people." But like you said, it works great for Granite State because I can shoot races with the intention. I had to get a clear shot of every driver's car number on
Oh,
the
wow.
race car
Yeah.
because they don't have like PNG files of their number fonts. So
Yeah.
I have to get a clear one and then go into Illustrator and image trace it.
Then
Which
that's
when
work.
I found out image when I like discovered image tracer, oh my god, it's the greatest thing on the planet.
'Cause to painstakingly just, like, outline the numbers
Oh my god, the
yourself,
pen tool. I did that for so
I
long, and
hate it.
oh my god, it's awful.
No, it's yeah, and I will say graphic design is something I definitely wanna get more into. I am not great at it, nor do I use the right tools for it. However, like, I need the right tools for it, and
If it gets the job
tracing out
done.
the it does, yeah, and tracing out the numbers is disgusting. It's
Did you
bad
do
and it
did
sucks.
you do the intro for Above the Yellow Line
I
too?
did actually. With your logo, I made everything else, and the
Yeah.
car that you did me too. Yeah, so, yeah, Rob, obviously made the logo, and then the car that you see in the beginning of the Above the Yellow Line intro, it was also from Rob, and then I put it all together in Premiere and was able to make a beautiful little and the, theme song too, I made through like what GarageBand, I think, if that
That's
says
really
anything.
good. Really?
Yeah.
I honestly thought you got that from like a public domain site. That's rad.
Oh no. Yeah, that was all
A
GarageBand.
composer too? Wow.
Well,
No, it's funny. The car I gave you, my pin designs, it's just a blank. It's just a
that's
blank
amazing.
Mustang.
It's so because you do the pins and they are
Yeah,
amazing, and I need to
wait.
buy them.
I'm on. I just got this one in today.
Oh my gosh, it's so
It's
cool.
Volkswagen Beetle. That
That
is
is
supposed to
incredible.
look like Daniel Suarez's Tootsie's car. Yeah.
I have to buy
I felt like it fit his vibe. Yeah, it'll be on my Etsy shop sometime in the next couple days. I gotta take a photo of it first and like make it look all pretty.
Yeah, I'm gonna spend some money. This is bad because I had oh gosh, I had Brian on the show. Well, I guess we talked Wednesday night. I published our interview Thursday, and make sure you watch it if you haven't yet. He talks about some maybe paint schemes coming up for Eric Almirola. He talks a lot about his career, where he's been so far. Funny story with Tony Stewart, also about breaking down the next gen or the Gen 7 cars. But he kept talking about the paint schemes, and I'm like, I'm going to be spending so much money this season. It hurts. But from that, I think we should look at the paint schemes.
Let's do it.
So here we go. So 2022 Darlington throwbacks so far. That's the key. And then all these photos are from darlingtonraceway.com. Credit where credit is due. So we have I guess I should probably share the actual tier list itself. That would be probably helpful, you guys. So sharing screen, Chrome tab, create design. Great. Okay. So we have our tier list. I'm doing it a little differently this time just because this is the normal format that you all know and love. We have the S tier, which is like God tier. This is fantastic. Nothing beats this. A, B, C, and D. I feel like F was a little harsh, all these times when we were doing these tier lists. So I just kind of got rid of it. But with this said, we are only focusing on the Cup Series for this one just because, time is limited. And there's also a lot more paint schemes that still need to be unveiled, and we'll probably go through them next week on the stream as well, plus a little bit more. We'll also talk about our favorites from the Xfinity Series and the Truck Series to close it out. But to start, I guess let's go with the first numerical ordered paint scheme. This is Austin Cindric's throwback to Rusty Wallace. How do we feel about this one, Rob? What's your first instinct looking at the scheme?
I'm with everybody that I thought it was a Paul Menard throwback.
Great, I am too.
I get what they were trying to do, and I'm sure there's a reason Menards is. I don't know enough about sponsorship to know why Menards is on the car for this weekend, but I just feel like if it was with like another sponsor, it would have made a lot more sense. Even if it was like Duracell and you did like a black paint scheme, and where they have the green, you have like gold, it would make more sense.
Oh, that would have looked great.
It would look a little better. And correct me if I'm wrong, Rusty Wallace's sponsor changed throughout that year, but the overall paint scheme was the same.
I believe the overall paint scheme was the same, though his sponsor
like Miller Lite, Kodak. Those are the only two I remember him driving. That Kodak car.
It's so pretty.
Especially now being a photographer, I'm like, oh yeah, big Kodak guy. I'm trying to think of where I would rank this because I get the idea, but it doesn't look like a throwback to me.
No, I'm with you. It looks too. I guess the word is normal. I don't want to use the word normal, but it looks too just like you're just trying something different with the exact sponsor you have.
They could have used this for like
anything.
Exactly.
Quite honestly.
And also the hood's green, and I'm pretty sure Rusty didn't have a colored hood. I'm pretty sure it was the same color as the rest of the car. Yeah, I don't quote me on that. I wasn't a fan of the sport that year, but just thinking back, because I've tried to make a lot of cartoon cars, and I go into like a ski and just kind of window shop.
I think you're correct on that with the hood. So because I will say I joined the sport in 2016, so I'm a little behind the ball here. But I think for me personally, I usually like to start ranking these when we get to the first one in the middle. I can probably quite honestly tell you I would rate this in the D category, and I hate to do that, but I think that's where it has to go.
Yeah,
maybe.
No, I agree.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so I'm so sorry, Austin Cindric, but you are going to be ranked last right now. It could change. We always go back after this and like review and reflect on what we might have done wrong. But for now, definitely last place. But let's go to the second one here. So the second one that has been announced so far is this throwback that is a Kevin Harvick throwback. It was ran in October 2011 to 2012. This marks Ream's actually 500th race as a partner in the sport, which is pretty cool. And it supports St. Jude's Children's Hospital Research Fund. So a really good cause and also a throwback as well. For me personally, because of the cause, it ranks a lot higher, in my opinion, because it is pretty just the Ream paint scheme.
Yeah, it is the Ream paint scheme. I also like though that they're running this on Mother's Day.
No, I love that.
I like the idea of that. So it's gaining more points than it would if it were another sponsor, honestly, because I think if it didn't have the significance that it does, I would probably put it with the Cindric.
That would be my thing.
But yeah.
With the significance with, you said, like Mother's Day and also just with the sponsor itself, for me, at least ranks it. And also the paint scheme does look nice. I'm not going to lie. The paint looks great. I'd probably rank this one at a C, I guess. Are we okay with that for now?
Yeah, that's where I was going to say put it too.
All right, so that's fine. That's good. I feel okay about this so far. I'm not regretting anything yet. This one I might regret. I don't know.
This one just came out, didn't it?
This one just came out
today or yesterday.
I think it came out yesterday. It was Kyle Larson. It's his throwback to Tim Richmond. I don't know. I like it better than his last year's throwback. I will say that.
Anytime they change the font, it gets me on board.
Yeah, because that shows that there's a correlation. Like the sponsor wants to work with the throwback. They want to be creative. They're okay with. For me, I do like that. I agree with you, and it does look pretty nifty. I'm not gonna lie. I use the word nifty. That sucks, but it looks great. I'm like 7 years old here.
Nothing wrong with the word nifty.
It's a fun word. It just why not? It looks nifty. I think that fits this paint scheme very well. But
I just feel like it. I would put it in B.
Yeah,
because it's solid. It's solid, but there's not much to it, I guess.
No, that's my thing. And a paint scheme, in my opinion, no paint scheme has to be busy to be beautiful. No. I love paint schemes that are just clean lines. They are some of my absolute favorites.
90% of the cars that race in our series are flat black cars. And honestly, some of them I'm just like, you know what? This looks good. If the number font looks good, then I'm cool with it.
So I think, I'm good with this being in the B category just because one, like you said, the font they changed it. It looks pretty.
We're really working our way up, aren't we? We're just going to go.
We are. We're just going to go. I predict, I don't know, because not all the cars have released their schemes yet. I will say something I'm very excited for. Coca-Cola Racing or Coca-Cola kind of announced a little bit that they're going to do a throwback scheme, and it was probably with Daniel Suarez. And you better believe I am probably going to buy it, whatever it is, regardless. I'm hyped.
So ready. I am so ready. Especially since it's Suarez, I'm so ready.
Oh no, that's why I felt good about this. If it was any other driver, I don't know if I would be as excited, but just knowing how knock out of the park his paint schemes have been, I think we're in for a treat.
Do you remember when, I mean, obviously neither of us were watching NASCAR at this point, but that Daytona July race where everyone drove a Coca-Cola car?
Oh, what year was it?
I think it was either 05 or 06. It might have been 05. But my thought was, what if
it's a throwback to that?
What if Suarez and Chastain are both driving Coca-Cola cars?
Honestly, that would be hilarious.
That would be rad.
I would love that. Oh, that'd be so cool. It's just, and then it's a matter of which ones would they throw it back to? And then also, have you seen the Pitbull paint scheme that Chastain's going to be running?
Oh my gosh.
I love it.
Trackhouse is hitting it out of the park, man.
Not only with season stats, but with paint schemes too.
They've been so much fun to watch this year, and I'm so happy to see them have all the success that they've had. Especially getting Dalen Barr dubs. It's fantastic.
I will say I put this on Twitter, but I got the Mobile One Harvick scheme, and then I pre-ordered also the 99 GoPro.
That's a good one.
It is gorgeous. I always wanted to get just a normal Trackhouse car, but I decided against it
Yeah.
because I was like, I gotta go with this beautiful GoPro.
I've been meaning to do illustrations of those cars.
I will.
It's a little different because it's whenever there's gradient in it, it's kind of
Yeah,
harder
it's
for me
tricky.
to do it, but I'll figure it out.
Yeah, no, if you do it, I will probably buy. I will be in debt at the end of the season, you guys. Number 6, though, Brad Keselowski, I will say there's some similarities if we're gonna go down the list here with his teammate as well. But Brad Keselowski's throwing it back to Mark Martin. It's a Mark Martin and Jeff Gordon throwback weekend, it seems, across all the series. This is to his 2004 paint scheme. What are your before I give my thoughts, because I've been talking a lot, Rob, what are you thinking on this one?
I wish they would have put Viagra on the car. That's my first thought. My first thought is I wish they put Viagra back on the car. But again, this one gets points for me because they changed the font back
Yes.
to the old Roush 6. Correct me if I'm wrong, but they shifted everything forward to fit the number placement now. Which is something I get. I think it just leaves a ton of blank space
there is
behind it.
actually, I saved this because I was going to mention this on the podcast this week, but Mike Joy actually had a little bit of like his 2 cents, which, I mean, he said, quote, just my 2 cents about like the number placement for this weekend. He said, I wish Cup teams were given more leeway with side number placement for the annual Throwback weekend. There is no real downside and we would all enjoy the creativity. I agree with Mike Joy for this.
Honestly, I was about to bring that up, that just let them run. I mean, honestly, for me, run the number wherever you want to run the number.
Exactly.
As long as it's on the roof, like, I don't know, because, short track racing, even ARCA, they're allowed to run the number wherever they want. The Pinty series in Canada, they run their number wherever. I don't know. They're open to change, so maybe we get to like next year. But honestly, the forward number placement, I didn't have a hard opinion on it, but it looks good when
it's grown on me.
Yeah, it looks good when the paint scheme is designed for it. But the problem with doing throwbacks is that a lot of these
are not
a lot harder for that.
Now, I will say, looking at, because I'm actually looking at the Viagra paint scheme now for Mark Martin, I actually believe the sponsorship is in the same place. I think it's moved forward a little bit to compensate, but I think that is also because it's like the sponsorship.com. It's a longer one than just Viagra would be. So I think it's actually pretty spot on. And if we're basing these off of how similar they look to the original, obviously the colors are a little different, but it looks, like I said, pretty spot on. I'm actually going to put this on the screen here for you guys because it looks almost identical to this one that I'm about to show y'all. If I can figure out what I'm doing. Here we go. We got this. We got this, you guys. I promise. Okay. There we go. It looks almost identical to this. Like, exactly.
Okay. Yeah.
So, but then I guess I should have broken down the criteria of what we want for this. But my whole thing is it doesn't get less than a C. Like,
no, I honestly was thinking about putting it as an A.
I think I might put it as an A too.
Because it's a throwback to the actual like team, which I think is significant. I've been waiting for Roush to do a mid 2000s throwback for a while, so I'm glad they're finally doing it. It's insane to me that mid 2000s is throwback now,
which is really scary.
I thought they put up Ty Gibbs's throwback like literally like 2 hours ago.
Oh, seriously?
And they were like, "Oh, it's 2002. Ty Gibbs was born," and I was like, "Oh my god."
Oh no!
It's like, stop. I have to remind myself that I'm older than Austin Cindric.
Wait, how old are you?
I'll be 25 in 2 weeks.
Oh, well, first off, happy early birthday. I feel old, and I was born in 2000, but I still feel.
Well, it's funny because because of where I was in college, a lot of my friends are born in 2000, which they got a big laugh telling everybody I'm 30 in college.
you don't look that old. That's the thing. You look like you'd be like
Thank you,
22.
because my friends will be
You're
like, "Yeah,
welcome.
you look that old." They're
You
like,
do
"Yeah, you
not.
look like you could be 30." I'm like,
You're like, "Thanks, guys.
I was
Really
like, "Thanks for
appreciate
that.
it."
Great."
We are moving up the list though, as we so next one has to be S tier, and I'm trying to you know what? It might be. You know what?
This
Because I know
next
that
one, this
this
next one,
next one
this is it. This is the
is S
one.
tier.
This is the one. This is the one. Oh
This is
my,
it.
I am geeking out over this one, man.
This
I
paint scheme is so
love
beautiful.
it. I am the I am a stan for purple on race cars. And when it's purple and yellow, if they
It
slapped
looks
the
so
Minnesota
good.
Vikings on a race car,
Done.
that be it. I'm rooting for him the rest of my life. Also, Harris Lou made a great T-shirt for this. That's on Corey LaJoy's
Oh,
website.
yeah.
And yeah,
Byron.
yeah, Harris makes some really solid T-shirts. And I'm not a big like T-shirt guy, but there's a couple that he's made that I'm like, I might have to pick that up. I
You
need
know,
I need race day fits.
all the I love collecting just like t-shirts for
Yeah.
like NASCAR, and I love collecting also hats too. I
Yeah.
need to
Oh
start
my
getting
god,
into that though.
I have like over 100 hats. They're at my parents' house, but
What?
um,
Oh
oh
my
yeah.
gosh.
Before I started collecting pins, I collected hats. The only reason I started collecting pins was because they were easier to store and they're cheaper.
So, me and my significant other, we ended up collecting patches. And then about a year later after collecting patches, we were like, why didn't we collect pins? There's more available. And we were like, just we're kicking
Yeah.
ourselves. We're like,
But like
man,
the current day ones, they print them. They print them on kind of a template, and they don't look great, and they fade out. And honestly, that's why I started making
yeah,
them in like the soft enamel, because it's like they last longer and they look better.
yeah. Oh no, I
But
love
they
pins.
got old they have old ones on eBay that look really good. I've gotten, I mean, 90% of my collection's probably from eBay that I've gotten ones for like $2.
See, this episode should be Taylor wants to spend more money. That's what I
and
should
and
totally
Rob
bring
is
in
a
this
bad
lifestyle.
influence.
Rob is a bad influence. Because I'm telling you, I really want to get this. If Circle B has it, if it's, I'm sure NASCAR just
It's gonna be made.
it has to.
I can't imagine it won't be made. I honestly, I'm the super late model I did for this. I think I'm gonna get that made into a pin.
I
Just
would
because
buy that.
I need something for this car, man.
This is if you guys don't.
And also Corey's racing with us in July.
Oh,
That's good.
seriously?
Yeah, him and Tyler Reddick are racing with us because we're at Lee USA Speedway the Friday of the Loudon weekend.
Oh,
So Corey and
nice.
Tyler are gonna come down and race with us.
See, I need to get the chai paint scheme for
I know what
Friday.
you're talking about.
It was a tough choice because I could only get 2 die casts right now, and I was like,
It's
the next
it's
one is
wild to me though, because I don't vibe with really any of his paint schemes. It's not like
that's the
they're
one that
bad.
sticks
It's
out to
just
me most.
I don't gravitate to any of them. Like I haven't made many, if any, but
Really?
I feel like I should though, because I do love Tyler Reddick.
Oh, we love Reddick. He's gonna get a win, and I guarantee you he will get into the playoffs with a win. This is the Taylor Kitchen guarantee that I will probably jinx, but he will win. I
I
promise
would
you
have
that.
said he would be the one to get his first 2 career wins this year before Ross.
Yeah, no, I'm shocked.
Yeah.
I might have had Ross in my. I will go back before the playoffs start and probably midway through the season and check my predictions, but I don't know if I had Ross in the playoffs or not. I'm pretty sure I did. I know I had Cindric in. Briscoe was not on my bingo card though, which
No, me
I'm
neither.
ashamed for because he's
That was a
talented.
surprise.
But this Corey LaJoy scheme, if y'all don't know, this is to Marty Robbins, country singer. He ran 36 races from 1966 to 1982. And we're pretty sure, as we alluded to, this is S tier pretty easily. I don't know what you all think.
The 3-digit numbers back.
Like
It's the old school font.
if it's not S
It's
tier,
Corey's brand, which
yeah,
I
it's
think is
stacking pennies on the hood, which is incredible.
yeah,
Easy S.
it's S tier, easily S tier.
No debate. I mean, you guys can debate it in the comments, but no debate. Now the next one, oh, what's the next one? Because Reddick hasn't done. Oh, so Chase Elliott. I have opinions about this one, but to give some background for this one, this is Chase Elliott's throwback to Jimmy Means, the number 52 car that Jimmy Means drove in the 1993 season. I mean, it looks similar, I will say, but this is not. I don't know if this is my favorite Elliott throwback. What about you, Rob?
The only one of Elliott's throwbacks that's ever hit me was last year's, the
Right,
Hooters
last year's was
throwback.
good.
That
That
one
was
was
really
really
good.
good. My question is, with Napa, when am I going to get my Michael Waltrip throwback?
Thank you.
When am
Thank
I going to get
you.
my? I get the 15, like the DEI one would be
Yeah.
hard because of the obvious just legal issues with
Oh,
doing
yeah,
that.
yeah.
But like, I started watching in 2007 when he drove the 55 for himself. So
Yeah.
I don't see why they wouldn't do that. I like the old, like I like the straight lines like we were talking about earlier. I
Right.
like that it's clean. The I get why, because of the way the lines are, but the Napa logo is really small.
It is.
And there's right where that blue is, there's a ton of dead space. So I feel like if you were gonna do that, just have like the contingency sponsors like
Yeah.
diagonal down that blue.
'Cause that's what I would say, and the original paint scheme, if you guys don't know it, it literally the number is I mean, the number is centered in the door, and then the Napa logo is actually where that blue stripe is. So
Mhm.
the Napa logo is smaller anyways, and then the back, quarter panel, from the pictures that I've seen is just totally blank. So it is pretty reminiscent. It just has obviously the numbers and logos put in different spots. So for me, based on the original logo, it uses the placement of the or based on
Yeah.
the original paint schemes, it uses the spots very well on the car. And
Mhm.
it is pretty much a carbon copy. The colors and like the lines are all the same, exactly the same. So for
It
me,
also uses the font,
and it uses the font. That is
which
also a big thing.
even though I said I haven't loved Chase Elliott's throwbacks, but that's one thing they always do right is they always change the number font, except for the Jimmy Johnson one. But like,
Right.
you kind of got
I love that
you
though.
got the oh,
Oh yeah.
that the four those four, it was incredible. And also I'll give them a little bit of a pass because it's really hard to do a throwback. I feel when you're doing it from a two digit number car and you're
Oh, it
trying to
is.
do it as a single digit or vice versa. Um, I think I would put this in either A or B. I lean more towards B.
Mhm. Because
Um,
it's not one of my favorites from him, but I would give it if we go back to it, maybe a low A, but I would give it a high B just because it is, like, pretty much carbon copy of the original, and it
mhm.
uses the place well for what it has, and also you said they changed the number. So kinda same tier as Larson, I'm thinking here.
Yeah,
So we'll do that for now.
we'll give him a B plus.
We'll give him a B
Even though
plus.
we can't, we'll just say that it's a B plus.
You all know what it is, it's B plus. We'll keep that in
They're
mind.
listening, they got it.
They got it, they got it, they got it. Let's see. Next up. So this is I believe this is a Tony Stewart throw. No, wait, hold on. I'm getting them
I
mixed
think it
up.
is.
It is a Tony Stewart throwback for when he ran the 600 and the Indy 500 back to back in 2001. So this is that throwback to both those cars. They had pretty much the same design. I mean it's a carbon copy if you put it on a stock car. So pretty
God, this makes
much
me miss Target.
the what?
God, this makes me miss Target.
Oh no, I missed Target so much.
Again, I became when I started watching NASCAR, I became a Reed Sorensen fan because he drove the Target car, and just kind of
It's the
followed.
Target.
I just followed him the rest of his career. For whatever reason, I didn't stick with the Target car. Like
Oh
when
really?
I think Montoya, I like always kind of rooted for the Target car, but they weren't my favorite drivers anymore. But I mean, even in IndyCar, I was a Dario Franchitti fan forever, and I think that gets extra points for me with this
Yeah.
because I wish they would have incorporated just a target somewhere.
I
Um,
wish, and I know there's probably, like, some, like not, like, ethical issues with that, but some, like, "Hey, you use our logo, gotta pay up for that" type situation thing with Target, and they
that's
might
such a
have been
weird
able
thing
to
though
work out a
because
deal.
because their logo is literally a target.
I know. So that's, like that's what I don't know, but,
But
I
I
mean,
honestly I don't know where it would have fit here either.
that's the thing. It for me, this paint scheme, I mean, it is reminiscent, and if we are putting it on, like, a scale of, like, how close is it to the original as how high it ranks, it's very similar to the Indy car he drove.
I don't know what his number looked like either. I know they
I
didn't change the font, but
Let me
I feel like
pull that
back
up.
then those IndyCar numbers were just kind of basic. Like the fonts were all basically like Arial.
Oh, no, it feel like everything was super basic back then.
Yeah, because
Everything was so basic.
if this was the same time as like I'm thinking like Eddie Cheever or Alex Zanardi, because anytime I see this the target with the lightning bolt, I think Alex Zanardi.
Yeah.
Because I had no before they did this, I had no idea Tony Stewart drove that car.
I
So
didn't either, and then I was doing research, and I was like, "Oh, crap." Yeah, so
oh,
this
they
is
could,
one
yeah, they could have done like the square and then 14.
They could have. I don't know if they were, like if they weren't al I honestly don't know if they weren't allowed or not, but I do agree they probably could have if they really wanted to, like, go for it, but I don't know if they were, like, wanting to
Yeah,
go for it. You know
they
what I
do that.
mean?
They do that square thing. They'll look like the old Red Horse Racing
Oh my god,
truck.
yeah. They would. So then maybe I don't know. I don't know. It's like
I
and this one is not my favorite. I will say it's not my favorite.
I don't want to put it at a C, but like
I don't either, but it kind of maybe has.
a C plus.
Well, okay, you know what? We'll put it at a C plus. Let's do that because I feel better about it because, like I said, it does look reminiscent. I don't
Mm.
want to knock it any lower than it should. Let me pull up this again. There we go. All right, so we're gonna put Chase Briscoe's at a C plus. We'll go back and rank the individual tiers. We won't worry about that right now. That's a little stressful. Moving on though, I think the next one will be the throwback to was it Kenseth? Yeah. Okay. So this is Chris Buescher's throwback to Matt Kenseth, like his teammate. They seem to just be. I mean, they have the same sponsor, but they just seem to be trading pretty much color schemes. I know Keselowski's were very reminiscent of the Viagra paint scheme, and like they had everything pretty much correct in terms of the hood and like how the color placement was and everything. So this would be like a tribute to Kenseth from 2004, which I would say is again with colors and how everything looks spot on, but it's just kind of boring. Like I don't know if the sponsor didn't give them a lot of leeway with how this looked, or if the font, like I don't really know how much leeway they
They
had, but
didn't
it's just kind of
change. They didn't change the color of the sponsor. Is the sponsor still blue?
the sponsor I think is still blue. Yeah,
It just looks weird.
yeah,
It definitely feels like the sponsor was not on board with the throwback, or was
I would
like, I mean,
agree.
obviously they're like, yeah, do a throwback, but we're not changing our logo for it, which I guess makes sense because I don't know what the heck this is.
I don't know.
So if they changed it, I really wouldn't know.
I
All this, honestly, what this really does is make me miss.
mad.
Uh, well, when they use the yellow 17, it's just that looked so sharp. Also, I'm noticing,
Yeah.
and this might add some extra points for me,
Is it
that
the number?
underneath the headlight is the Roush Racing logo.
Oh crap! Yeah, you're
Um,
right.
and I think that's a really nice touch.
That's a nice touch.
I
That's a
like that a
detail.
lot. I'm waiting for the day that Trackhouse does a throwback to Carl Edwards
That would be
Red Sox
awesome.
car. Uh,
Yeah.
a boy can dream.
It'll happen someday. It just depends on when. But what do we think about this one? I don't. Part
I'd
of
put it.
me
I feel like B.
B. I would give it a low B.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I
Cheaters.
also
It's kind of on the same level as Briscoe's, honestly.
I think I'm gonna put it at a C. I think my gut's telling me C with this one. It's kind of just I don't want to use like a wet fart type paint scheme because that's horrible. But it's just kind of
Yeah, no,
just
it it had good intentions.
it had good intent. No, see, there we go. That's perfect. It had good intentions. No, none of these paint schemes are inherently bad, or well, maybe some of them are to you guys. That's totally fine. But it had good intentions. Just it wasn't a home run. Wasn't a home run.
Yeah,
So, well, that's out of the way. I think next up we have what? Oh yeah, Kyle Busch. So we got to vote on this on the M&M's Twitter page. It was a big old debate. I remember this all. But this is a Kyle Busch 1998 throwback.
yeah. I
This is the
I knew
one
Gilliland's wouldn't win. I voted
wouldn't
for it,
win.
but I knew it wasn't gonna win.
I think this is the one I voted for because I'm kind of happy. And then the
Yeah.
number on the hood is red. So I mean, this is beautiful and it's pretty reminiscent of the original. And I think M&M's obviously this being Mars last season with Joe Gibbs and Kyle and everything. I think they hit it out of the park for this one.
Yeah.
My opinion.
I honestly, I put this at S.
I would put it at S. Okay, I'm glad we agree. Thank God. Okay.
Perfect.
S tier. Now that definitely deserves an S tier. And like looking at this Corey LaJoie's throwback and his next to each other, it just makes sense.
Yeah, there's always like at least like 4 or 5 every year that you're just like, that's
home run.
That's it.
That's it. So that was easy. Okay. Truex has not come out with one, I don't believe. So we'll go to the 21. Now, this is Adam Lucas's personal favorite. So he wanted me to mention that on the show tonight because he couldn't be here with us. So this is Adam Lucas's favorite. This one is S tier.
S for so many reasons. For so many reasons. I didn't mean to step on.
No, you are good. You were totally good. I agree with you. Definitely an S tier. Throwback to Burton's dad.
Exactly. Well, and also it's an X-side car.
Yes.
And it's DEX. It kind of fits well. The sponsor isn't the same sponsor, but it fits well in that place.
It does.
I guess I'm saying.
And they really worked with the original scheme. And for me, Penske can sometimes be hit or miss, and like Wood Brothers Felix can kind of be hit and miss with their throwbacks. I think so far, at least seeing Cindrix was a little bit of a miss. Not gonna lie, we put it at a D. But for this one, beautiful, and obviously, Jeb Burton has a throwback to his dad as well. So
I haven't seen that one.
I'll have to pull it up at the end here because I actually really liked it.
Is he doing the Caterpillar one again?
I don't know.
The Caterpillar one before. That one looked good though. When he was driving for BK, it looked really good. I don't get a ton of diecasts, but I almost got the diecast of that car.
Yeah, Jeb Burton will run in 1992, throwback to his father, Ward Burton.
Oh, so it's like the black and green? I'm thinking, right? Or like blue. It's either blue. I'm trying to remember. Is it the Maxwell House one?
Let me put it up on the screen for you because I actually... Maybe I don't remember seeing. I remember seeing the news release for this one, but I don't actually remember personally seeing the paint scheme. So let me get that for you guys. But yeah, this one clearly is an S tier. Let me know if you agree, because I mean it is gorgeous. But yeah, let me get that one up for a second. Share screen. I talk myself through this because it's just something that has to happen. You guys.
Oh, I do the same thing.
There we go. Okay, so we're gonna go to J-Ski, trusty J-Ski. This is the one.
God tier site. Ooh,
it looks good. That. It looks really good.
And that red looks really good. Again, I don't know if I've ever seen that Ward Burton car.
I don't think I have either, and that's why it threw me off. But if it works, it works. Let's scroll down and see if there's a throwback now. But this is what it was.
I don't know if there's a reference photo, but
let's see if I can find a reference photo too while we're looking at it.
But we can watch iCarly while we're at it.
Honestly,
the advertisement at the bottom.
Guys, I don't know about you, but iCarly was my show, not a sponsor. But was definitely my show when I was like elementary school.
Front of the pod, iCarly.
I know.
Pod.
iCarly not a sponsor, but just if a show can be a sponsor, why not? But I'll have to find this throwback. This was a 1992.
Yeah, I don't know if it was when he was in like Grand National or
okay,
maybe.
NASCAR Winston Cup, October. This looks like it was like normal NASCAR.
What was the sponsor?
Sponsor was... I'm going to put it up on the screen because I don't want to mispronounce it. I know myself. Oh, NASCAR Taco Bell Cup Series. What's up? How you doing? Thanks for joining the chat. We'll pull up our rankings so far if you want to chime in on those. I'd absolutely appreciate that. We're going to go see... here we go. Let's go share screen. All right, we're looking at this paint scheme. This is what Jeb Burton's is going to allude to during Darlington.
Gwaltney,
thank you. Oh my god.
Oh, so Eric Almirola had that as a sponsor a while back. I think like 2012.
Oh my gosh.
It's something that goes with like some sort of food product, I think.
Gotcha. Okay.
I've never seen that car. And I didn't realize it's also 27. I think I just assumed it was 22 since it was Ward Burton. So yeah, okay. Obviously we're not putting that one on the tier, but
no,
I think that would be really close to S tier.
It would be. But this one, as we said, absolutely S tier. It's beautiful. But let's go over what we have so far. Just because we are nearing. I think we are way over halfway here. So far, D tier, we have Cindric's paint scheme. C, we have Harvick, Briscoe, Busher. B tier, we have Elliott and Larson words. And then A, we have Keselowski. And then S tier, I don't know if we can all agree with this, but I really hope so. We have Corey LaJoy's, Kyle Busch's, and now Harrison Burton's throwback to his father. So that's what we have so far. We still have a few more to go through. So let's do that. We don't have Joey Logano's S tier. S tier is God tier. Yeah, I changed it up a little bit because I thought having a F tier was a little too harsh, and I just felt really bad every week when we did tier lists. So that's how this is working now. But yeah, S tier is like God tier. That's how we're doing this. Now, here's where I got confused. So this was on, I took all the photos from Darlington Raceway's website. So credited them at the beginning. I'm doing it again. And they had this as a throwback. Rob, I don't know if you can fill me in.
Is a throwback. It's a throwback to the first thing I saw in it was JJ Yaley's 2018 DLP car. And it honestly, they did it pretty similar. It just needs that base blue needs to be actually blue. The two colors are too similar. And the old and the original car, the lighter blue is like a neon green.
Oh, yeah, okay.
It's like a neon green. I think there's like a red trimming too. I don't
probably
quite remember.
A sponsor deal where they had to fit more of the money line.
Yeah, they had to kind of stick to their branding. But it's a throwback actually to the Xfinity car because the 18 Gibbs Xfinity car had the same paint scheme, and I forget the driver's name. Oh my god!
So this was 2012.
2008.
2008. Well, I was way off. Sorry.
Yeah, this is we're going back to the Gen 4 era.
Oh,
at least in
I'm
the Xfinity
seeing
series.
This. All right. So DLP. I am lost. If you guys in the comments know a little bit about this,
yeah, I can't remember the driver. It wasn't Kyle Busch, but there were a couple drivers that drove that 18 that year.
Yeah. I'll try to throw up the original scheme here so y'all can see it. Because this is when Adam, because I actually asked Adam this and he said the same thing. And I was like, I looked everywhere to see like if I could figure out where this was from. Could not find it at all. But so you guys can kind of see what we're talking about here. Another J-Ski search. We're talking about this paint scheme, I'm pretty sure. Something similar to this. Do not have the driver up here. So let's see if I can figure that out. 2008. All right, so we're gonna look that up real quick. Because there was multiple drivers.
But it was a driver's name that I didn't immediately recognize because I know Busch drove it, and I knew Hamlin drove it at some point. I think Brad Coleman drove it at one point too.
If I can find this, I'll put it in the comments below. That might be a search I have to do after the fact.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the paint scheme that we're alluding to for Bubba Wallace's throwback. I'm kind of surprised they didn't advertise his throwback as much.
No.
Because they definitely did this whole thing with Kurt Busch's, which we'll get to, which I'm very excited about. But
the scheme, honestly, it looks good.
Yeah, it doesn't look bad.
I wish I don't know if we're calling it green or blue or whatever. I go back and forth with this. It's like the Menards color.
Yeah.
A little bit, I wish they were more balanced.
Yeah.
They had a little bit more contrast to them. I would lean to put this. I feel like a C+ or B. I feel like we're being really critical here, so maybe we should put it in B.
Maybe I shouldn't voice my thoughts on this because I don't want to. So here's my thing: it looks too much like a money line scheme, in my opinion. It is very clearly like a throwback. Now that I saw the original, what we were alluding to, but it doesn't look like there was a lot of leeway. Yeah.
It's a vague throwback.
It's very vague because the only thing that you can see here is just kind of the swoop. That's for me. That's the only thing that really tells me it's a throwback here. Next to the Moneyline logo. So for me, I'd honestly, not to hate on Bubba Wallace, but I might give this a D. I might be real.
I feel like Cindric needs a friend. So
Cindric needs a friend. If you disagree in the comments, let us know. We'll see what we can do when we go back through these and we do our final rankings. Because I don't feel totally good about this, but if we're going based off of what we said about Cindric's car, I gotta be fair and have Bubba Wallace do the same.
He can't be the only one at the kids' table.
I know. Oh, sorry, Cindric and Bubba. I'm so sorry. Okay, Well, we'll move along. We move on. So 24. So this one, I have some thoughts over, but this is clearly a William Byron. Finally, we're throwing it back to Jeff Gordon this year. Finally, it apparently was just the year that everyone was like, we're actually going to do this. So this was a 2007 race winning Darlington paint scheme throwback tribute to Jeff Gordon. Now, I will say the blue is, I do believe this blue is a little lighter than the original.
I hope that changes.
I want it to change because that was my only gripe with this paint scheme. Otherwise, I love it, but that blue is killing me.
It looks like the like toys that came out of
Yeah.
the car.
Yeah.
Like I think there was like Mega Bloks came out with a Jeff Gordon
God.
car, and it was like that color, and it's like it's just off because it's a deep blue. Like on the actual car, it's like a deep blue. But I obviously, you know, being, you know, a kid from the mid-2000s, it's a great scheme, and it brings back a lot of memories. I wasn't a big Jeff Gordon fan back then, but like most people that changed in the like mid-2010s, I would lean to put this either at like an A or B.
I think just split the gap then, because I'm seeing in the comments, and this is honestly where I would agree with it, is B or C. Split it between a B and C. And I think if you're between an A and B, I'm between a B and C. I think we should put it at B. But I think,
I agree.
I don't know. We'll go through the individual categories like we always do when we go back through these. Not sure where it's going to rank amongst the other Hendrick drivers here, but we'll put it last for now. I'm sure that won't be the case, because for me, that's
really
wild.
The Hendrick Club right there.
I know. There's years where they hit it. There's years where they miss it. I don't really know. Oh, thank you, Brett. So Brett uncovered the mystery for us. Kyle Busch ran that paint scheme that we were alluding to with the with that 18 that Bubba Wallace is throwing back to. Thank you, Brett. I appreciate it. So there we go. The mystery solved. We love that. Let's go. We only have a few more left because this is all that's been released so far, and then we can kind of get into some discussion going into this weekend. But this is a Cole Custer throwback, and this one eluded me because I was like, I don't really recognize this. This is Leffler. This is a Jason Leffler throwback. He earned Haas's CNC Racing's first career win, so a little bit of an interesting one. I will say I really haven't seen that paint scheme yet. I'm going to be honest, so I'm probably going to look it up now.
Yeah,
but it looks too similar to just what you would see on a normal weekend. So that's why I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
So that's what's throwing me off with this one.
I mean, honestly, the first Haas car that comes up when you look up Jason Leffler is not that.
It's not. So that's why
it's the 00. I don't know if was this a cup car? Yeah, it's a cup car.
It's the Leffler Haas car there. Huh? Yeah.
But he didn't win a cup race, right? I don't think he ever won that. So I think that. So this must be a CNC. Must be a Busch car.
Oh, Busch. Okay, so if you've not joined the live stream before, and if Dom or Adam are watching, we have I guess now apparently because we did a before we joined the Toby Christie channel, I believe we did a live stream ranking the worst paint schemes, and there's now a whole meme with all of us or a joke with the Busch series. So soon, I'm pretty sure Adam's going to be putting together a Busch series tier list that should be just mounds of fun to go through. So I'm hoping that we'll have that soon for you guys. But speaking of Busch series, a little off topic, but yeah. So this is a Leffler throwback. Leffler didn't win in Cup ever, confirming for us there. Thank you, NASCAR Taco Bell Cup series. I appreciate that. So yeah, so this would be like maybe a Busch series. It says Haas's CNC's first win. When I looked up the throwback thing. So I honestly don't know. I don't know how I feel about this one. And I don't know if it's just because of lack of knowledge with this one. There was not a lot I could find.
It's a neat looking paint scheme. Like,
it is neat.
I don't think of it as like a throwback. I kind of feel the same way about this one that I did about Christopher Bell's from I think 2020 when he threw back to himself.
Oh yeah.
And he threw back to like his truck. It looked really good.
It did.
But as far as a throwback, if we're doing this solely based on throwback,
it's not.
I don't want to put it as a D. I would more C, like a C minus.
I would agree with you because I don't think I'd put it at a low C as well. That might change. I don't know if it's definitely deserving of down here because it is a really cool scheme. It's just it's not totally.
Well,
Throwback.
really, it's a collection of teams here.
It is, which
Because
is
all the
hilarious.
Stewart-Haas cars are on the C.
And
then all the Hendricks
are in
are.
B.
Yeah, exactly. At least we have a manufacturer representative for
In
every
each.
and I was thinking in S.
Oh, and this year, yeah, no, that's good. I will say, not totally biased, but I mentioned this at the beginning of the season. Ford has knocked it out of the park. I talked about this with Brian as well, Brian Murphy, just about how Stewart-Haas has had some of the best paint schemes in the garage, I believe, this season so far. And he's kind of he broke down a little bit, how they print their paint schemes, what material they use and everything. So, I mean, they have it figured out. Their graphic design team did an incredible job trying to figure out this number placement.
That was really insightful too. I didn't know that either about how they printed the chrome.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's really interesting.
I didn't know that either. And I was like, oh my gosh, I learned so much from him. If you guys haven't watched that video yet, it's on Toby Christie Com, our YouTube channel. So make sure you see that because it was cool. And I'm excited to hopefully have him back on the show soon. Just talk more next gen car stuff or Gen 7 car. I should stop saying the next gen car. And more just Stewart-Haas racing.
Are we not calling it next gen anymore?
I feel like it's now just Gen 7. We're going into race 11.
I still call it the COT, man. I still call it the car of tomorrow.
It is the car of tomorrow. Oh my gosh. I feel like, honestly, maybe it might be okay. I don't know what you guys think. This might be a good topic to debate, but until the season's over, is it fair game to call it the next gen car? You know what I mean?
I might start calling it the car of tomorrow junior.
Do it. I fully
That's a mouthful. I don't know if I want to commit to that bit.
COT Junior is the only way to shorten it. That just makes it sound better.
It just makes me think of Megan Thompson's list of what to call all the NASCAR series. And
oh my god, yeah,
Cubby Car Junior.
Pretty much. Oh my god, yeah.
That social team is top tier. God
so
tier.
Good. The social teams have kicked it up a notch this year. I will say, all the teams have done such a phenomenal. I don't know who they hired to run their teams, but oh my goodness, I would say
they they hired Jennifer Fisher, who I think before that she was with the Packers.
Oh,
but she does a lot of illustrations. Anytime you see the TikTok with the painting on the down jacket, that's her.
Oh, I love that.
She's wicked talented.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, see, all these race teams know what's up. They're finding the best people in the business and having them on their social teams. So I'm here for it. Totally here for it. We have 2 more left. I think this should be pretty simple. Maybe, I don't know. Mixed feelings about this one. This is throwback to Bill Elliott for Kurt Busch here. Yeah, it's 1996 a McDonald's scheme throwback. I will say to begin with, I don't think I actually like the original scheme because it almost looks like, in pardon my language here, I don't know if this is bad or not, but almost like the hood is like a thong, which looks horrible. Which is
I see it.
I can't with this scheme, and I don't know why. I was all excited, and I was like, I want somebody to throw back again. I think we did it in the past 5 years, but the Mac Knight paint scheme.
Oh, Jamie McMurray did that.
Jamie McMurray did that.
I can't remember when, but I remember the car, and I was like, that is.
I want another one.
I'm not a big fan of throwing back to cars more than once, but I'd be okay to see that again, especially if it was on another car.
No, I need to show.
It bothers me. It bothers me that they didn't change the font for this, especially considering there's a 4.
Yeah.
And so you would have had the 94 4. And I mean, 5 kind of looks like a 9.
I will say it seems like to me, because after looking at Bubba Wallace's in this one, I don't know if 2311 Racing, their sponsors, were really okay with fully committing. I'm not sure.
Definitely didn't look like they committed. And
yeah, this is the hood of that car, by the way, so you all can understand what I'm trying to say. It just looks bad.
Oh, I didn't notice that. Is that what it looked like on the original car? Did they have that red trimming on the M?
I need to figure that. You know what? We're going to do a search, you guys. We're doing a search because I need to make sure.
Be that hard to find
for myself. Yeah, this is well, what did I say this was? 1996. Bill Elliott. Oh, well, I'm not typing. That would be a problem.
Muted, not typing. Good God.
It's been a time, you know.
I mean,
No,
look,
enough. Okay,
you
it's like
just
the original.
yeah,
So
it's in black there, which makes more sense to me.
it
And
is because
it's
it
got like a
pops out.
shadow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why they wouldn't have
Just
done that. It's
looks.
they didn't change the sponsor logo either. I think they're still using the McDonald's like
You're
word
using the
mark from
modern.
now. They're
Yeah.
using the modern, which again kind of knocks off points for me because I think back to Ross Chastain's last year.
Yes, and it
That
looked
looked
great.
fantastic. Also, please bring back colored window nets and roll cages, please.
That would be wonderful.
Color the interiors, because when they released Kurt Busch's car for this year originally, it had a red roll cage, and I was so hyped. I literally, when I did my illustrations, I did the roll cage in red, and then they didn't do it.
And I was so disappointed because it would have made that car so much cooler.
It looks great. I mean, and again, like the series that I work for, it's in super late model racing everywhere. A lot of them have colored roll cages.
Yeah.
And there's one driver that has like, again, it's a plain black car, but it has an orange trim at the bottom, a really thin orange trim, and then all of the like caging is orange, and it's like this like fluorescent orange, and so it just pops. It looks fantastic.
I love black with like fluorescent colors like orange, or like give me like a neon pink too. It just looks so good.
Talking about this, I just remembered I haven't finished editing those photos yet.
Oh gosh. The impending doom of like you feel so content, and then you realize you forgot something. You're like, oh crap.
It's a couple thousand photos, man. It's a lot. It's a lot. It takes hours.
Oh my gosh. No, I can only imagine. I'm so glad. I have like a week off of classes. I just finished my semester. And I'm also quickly realizing that in that week I'm still going to be working. I'm not there's no breaks here.
Are you doing a summer session?
Oh yeah. Yep.
My roommate did that for a while.
Yeah,
and she'll be the first to tell you that, you know,
not fun.
You push through. You push through.
I did talk about this a little bit on my Twitter page, but I did mention I took like a 1.5 years off for my health. And so I've been doing nonstop like classes, summer, fall, any winter semester that was offered to me in spring since about like 2020. So I'm burnt out, which sucks. But so we're working through it. But for this paint scheme, though, for me personally, I'll give my thoughts on it. It does look really similar to the original. I will give it that, but I feel like there was a missed opportunity with this scheme that could have gone like Rob mentioned. The numbers could have been changed to look more like this, and I think it's just the willingness of 23XI Racing sponsors to kind of go with these throwbacks. And there's so far you can go without losing the recognition of the brand. So I understand that, but also like Rob mentioned, with not having like almost the shadow like pop out for that McDonald's logo on there, really missed opportunity in my opinion.
They didn't commit, and it's really kind of leaving a bad taste in my mouth.
I don't want to give this a really bad rating because it is very reminiscent of the original. I feel like unlike Bubba Wallace's, who is it's just Money Lion's paint scheme pretty much, just with the swoosh side. This one ranks above it, but I don't know if it's going to go.
I'm going to give it a C just because it's literally the same sponsor, and the sponsor didn't even. It's weird to me that the sponsor didn't commit. They committed
it's the same.
Ross Chat. They've committed literally to like every McDonald's throwback. I don't know what the disconnect was here.
So that for me might mean, it might be meaning like the sponsor wants to like stay modern, but I know McDonald's has been on board before, like you said, with Ross Chastain. So it might be an internal, like 23XI, a decision from them. Obviously, we're not, we're not in there. We don't know.
Honestly, it might be because they didn't change the fonts, and thinking back to Bubba Wallace's throwback last year, to Wendell Scott when Root was on the car, they didn't. First of all, every trimming that theoretically should have been red was still orange for Root, and they didn't change the font, which is weird for them to not to change the font on that car, considering he drove that beautiful truck back
Yeah,
in 2014, I think, at Martinsville.
I think you're
And
right.
yeah, so it's probably a 2311 thing.
I would think so, which is
Some
I wish they commit.
somewhere in their brand guide.
I want them to commit with these because I think they could have really good throwbacks. And not saying that these
Yeah.
are totally bad, but there was definitely, I think, a step further they could have gone with this.
Mm,
So I would say I'm fine with having it at a low C. We might have to break up that C category. But
yeah.
going to our last car here, though. Now I will say this is quite possibly an S tier, and I'm a little biased. But this is this is a beautiful Mark Martin 1993 Southern 500 throwback. Obviously, this picture doesn't do like the colors justice because it has like the look on the picture of like it being old from Darlington's website, but it's beautiful and it has the clean lines. And I'm probably want to put it at an S tier, but I don't know about you. But it's so pretty. It's so
It's
pretty.
not going below A. I'll say that.
No,
I'm trying to figure out why the number is blue.
then that was my only thing because the original number was white.
Yeah,
So,
it just looks the blue looks weird. Um
and I don't know if that. Oh, that might be. It might be because of the number placement because
maybe.
if
Yeah.
it goes on to because it's forward, it's going to go onto the white. So a white number with that white forward of the car.
They just do a black stroke because I'm pretty sure Mark's car had a black stroke.
Mark's car, it had black stroke around
Okay.
the six.
I mean, and to Ally's credit, they do a really good job at kind of
Oh, they do.
molding because Alex's throwback last year
Last year, they went. They
oh
committed
my
to
god,
it.
it was his crew chief, and
Yeah,
why is
great
his
guys.
that's it. I don't
Yeah,
know why
you're
that
good.
escapes me, but
Names escape me all the time.
yeah, because that looked really great. I don't know why they didn't at least change the font of the number because they usually the 48's done that a couple, if not every time
They've done
they've
it
done a throwback.
almost every time.
Yeah. I would lean to put this at an A, not an S. Um,
I mean, you're right. If
there's just a couple things that mark it down for me.
and I think part of me is in this one in particular, I do believe the number placement kind of screwed it over from
Yeah.
being an S tier because you see that the whole red mark where the A for ally is would be where the number would be, and I think it would have looked fine that way. Because then you would have the Valvoline where the do it right ally part is by the quarter panel there. So,
Can you
or
imagine if can you imagine if they let them put the numbers wherever they wanted and we
oh my gosh,
saw people put numbers on the quarter panels and throw back to like Indy cars?
no, that'd be
That'd be
crazy.
so rad.
I feel like for throwback and going back to Mike Joy's comment from Twitter, they should have their discretion of creativity for putting the throwback numbers wherever they want. I understand that is not uniform. I understand that, and I understand that might look bad on the track. But for one weekend, out of a 36 race weekend, I think we can get away with one
We
where not
literally did
everything
an
is together,
underglow.
which was I love the underglow.
Underglow.
I love the underglow so much.
It looked cool, but I thought it was gonna look like it did in Vegas, and
Yeah.
it didn't look. I get why it didn't look like that.
Oh yeah.
But I was like, this isn't the same. I feel like I'm getting the Wish version of this.
I know. I feel like going forward with these new number placements as we try new things, I think we'll get the design down. Maybe going to next year because I know and we'll talk. We might have time to talk about the new format for the All-Star race, and I'll definitely break it down on the next episode of Above the Yellow Line too. But they modified it based on what they learned from last year. So maybe learning from this year with how the number placement works, what the teams thought about it. Maybe next year we'll have a throwback where it's kind of a free for all where you can put the numbers wherever you want.
Yeah.
But for this one, I guess I would agree with you. I do see your point with
It's a high A. It's
a
close
high
to
A.
it's close to S.
It is the best in my opinion Hendrick throwback, and I know that's shame to
Oh
maybe
yeah.
the Gordon one here, but it's the blue. You can't get the
Yeah,
blue wrong.
and it might be the actual blue, and that some of these renderings are always a little off, but
Yeah,
from the naked eye seeing it, yeah, it looks like a like Tonka Jeff Gordon car.
it does honestly. Which I don't know if I don't think that's a good thing. I don't think it's a good thing.
It's cute.
It's cute. It's the flames are cute.
The flames are
So
great. The flames are great. I don't know if it's. I think the flames have the neon
the
because the
flames
flames need to
do
have the
seem to have the
neon.
neon.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the flames are fine. It's just that you need that deep metallic blue.
Well, let's go through what we have right now. Well, I guess, and then we'll finalize it here. So we'll go through the list, and y'all in the comments, if you guys want to give your thoughts, if you're like, whoa, Rob, Taylor, you guys really did not do well with this paint scheme. I want it down. I want it farther up on the list. We can do that. But starting from the bottom, we'll work our way up. I'll just name everything real quick. We have Cindric and Bubba Wallace on the bottom with their throwbacks. Then in the C tier, where we're probably going to have to break this up, we have Harvick, Briscoe, Busher, Custer, and Kurt Busch. And then in B tier, we have the Hendrick Brigade -1, Elliott, Larson, and Byron. In A, we have the other Hendrick guy, Bowman, and then we have Keselowski. And then finally in S tier, and I will debate with you guys. I'm not changing these top three. I will not. We have Corey LaJoie, Kyle Busch, and Harrison Burton in the top three. Let's start at the top and I guess work our way down. Just because I feel like the top is solidified. So S tier, we're good with, not changing.
As far as the order.
As far as like who's up there, I think that's
who's up there? Yeah. Oh yeah, we're not changing that.
Now the order, well, you know what? That's a lie. We're gonna start from the bottom and go up because I feel like we have to end on a good note here. Let's go.
Yeah, that's it. That's what I was gonna say.
I rescind my.
If we're changing the order of them,
yeah,
let's end on a high note.
So I rescind my statement. Let's go from D tier. So Bubba Wallace and Cindric, I think their schemes belong down there. I might argue Briscoe's going down there because it doesn't look like a throwback, and that might be my lack of knowledge on the original because I tried to find the original and I think they look similar enough, but I couldn't find the exact match. So, but it looks too modern in my opinion. Do you think we should move that one down?
Honestly, I especially since we have so many in C,
yeah.
If we're gonna move one down to D, that's the one because yes, I love Target. Yes, I love the Lightning Target, but Mahindra didn't change anything for this. They didn't change the number font. They put like a yellow trim within the 14, and it's
just, and I get the lightning strike. I get it. That's cool. It looks like it looks like the IndyCar that Stewart ran, but part of me just feels like it's just they had so much more room to work with.
It's the highest of the D.
I would agree. It's the highest of the D. I would say that. I think the rest of the D category kind of works out. I would kind of argue Custer's just being too modern, in my opinion.
I would be on board for that, honestly.
I think
honestly, when I think about ones that feel like throwbacks on this list, Custer's is the one that feels like the least
throwback-ish.
Throwback vibes to me.
And part of me, for that reason, might put it at the bottom. But then, well, yeah, honestly, for me, I might put it at the. Should we put it at the bottom?
Yeah, and it's probably some like sentimental bias too because I do like Bubba's throwback. Just missed the mark hard. But it looks like the chat agrees that
the chat agrees.
Yeah,
that's good. Okay, I don't feel bad then. I feel okay about this.
validation, fantastic.
I thrive on validation. Yeah, so I think with the D category, this looks fine. So do we like the order that it's in? Do we like the order with it being Briscoe at the top, then Cindric, then Wallace, then Custer?
I'm good with that.
Okay, so that's our D tier. That's the bottom of the list. Moving up for the C tier, we have Harvick's throwback, and then we have Busher's to Matt Kenseth, and then we have not Bubba Wallace. Oh my gosh, sorry, Kurt Busch to Bill Elliott. The order there, however, I'm wanting to move around. I'm curious, Rob, what your thoughts are on where you would want things.
I think the McDonald's should be top.
I agree. I would agree.
I think Busher's should be in No, I don't. I'm gonna keep Harvick's in second because the fact that the sponsor didn't change the color on that Busher car, it's an eyesore, man. That blue doesn't even fit with that, that gold.
I would agree with that. I was kind of thinking along the lines of maybe putting Harvick's. Part of me wanted to put Harvick's last because it's too modern, but then I thought we went around the reason for this to begin with. It's the Reams 500th race with the Cup Series. or with NASCAR, and then also for Mother's Day weekend, and this is for breast cancer awareness, and then the St. Jude's Children's Hospital also goes along with this paint scheme as well to raise awareness. So the reasoning behind it is fantastic. It is very modern for me, and I know this paint scheme was ran what was it, like 2010, 2011? I want to make sure I get this right because I don't.
Yeah, I think it was 2011.
Yeah, 2011, 2012. Thank you. Yeah, 2011, 2012 in October. So it's, I mean, I could say the same thing for the Kenseth one, but I think are we fine with how it is?
I'm good. I'm good with that. I'm good with that.
Okay, we'll stick with this. This one might be up for debate. I might kick myself over with this later, but that's totally fine. Now, this is the one that's going to be a little tricky here. Now in the chat, NASCAR Taco Bell Cup Series says IDK how to feel about Larson's throwback. I'm with you. I don't know about this one. Now we have right now Elliott's Jimmy Means, I believe, his throwback right there. We have Kyle Larson's throwback to Tim Richmond, and then of course the 24 for Jeff Gordon. First, I guess I'll give my opinions on this first. I feel like the 24 should probably be in the middle just because of the blue. I'm just saying because of the blue. Then maybe Elliott's first and then Larson's last.
Yeah, I'm not vibing with any of them. So
I really don't like any of them.
Honestly, I think as far as like my opinion on them, if I were to rate them as a number, they'd all be the same. They'd all be sevens.
Sevens. Okay.
I know that doesn't quite correspond with being a B or C, but I haven't been in school for a year, so
that's okay.
I'm starting to forget things.
It's all good. That's what happens when you're not in school for a while. But no, I agree with you. I'm not liking any of them this year besides Alex Bowman's, which is kind of a shame because I feel like they have like on and off years with the throwbacks. I mean, I would say the Jimmy Johnson throwbacks obviously were fantastic. And then last year's they all had really good ones. Byron ran a Valvoline throwback last year. Was it a Mark Martin throwback? Or let me look that up real quick because I know he had a Valvoline throwback and I thought it was gorgeous.
I thought Larson for
that Larson.
I think he ran something for like a throwback to himself for Darlington.
Oh. So Byron throwback last year was Valvoline. It was a Neil Bonnet throwback, and that car was gorgeous. Okay. And they changed the font and everything for it, and it looked fantastic. Larson's was a throwback to himself in his old racing days last year.
Mm-hmm. The Valvoline scheme that he ran later in the year and the one that he runs now looks fantastic.
Really good.
I don't think it's necessarily a throwback to anyone, but it's just kind of got that old school vibe to it that I really.
And that's what I like about the Valvoline schemes. I mean, they have consistency to them, and also the colors.
They've got some fire stuff. Even like when Scott Riggs was driving the Evernham one, they looked really solid.
Oh yeah, for sure. No, I would agree. They always do a great job. I think, in terms of like sponsorship consistency, I think Valvoline does an excellent job.
They tend to not miss.
They don't, which is good. You have to have a sponsor that's solid with their paint schemes every time. The moment they miss, I should be shocked. Is how I feel about some of these paint schemes here. But I don't, like I said, not a huge fan of any of the Hendrick ones this year besides Bowman's. I feel like because the blue is almost a sin, in my opinion, for like how off it is. I don't know why, and I hope they fix that because I know they took feedback from Byron's Liberty University car at the beginning of last season, I think, or maybe it was this season. About we were like, hey, like the skirt of the car, like it's not balanced or it's not level, and they kind of took the feedback and they went through with it.
I think it was last year because I vaguely remember.
Yeah, because everyone on Twitter was like zooming in on it. They're like, guys, somebody messed up. But
and unfortunately, as a graphic designer, I didn't pick that up at first. I was really? Okay. I mean, I will never claim to be a paint scheme designer.
Oh yeah.
So
I'm also
not my department.
Prefacing, I am not an artist. I'm not a graphic designer. This is merely thoughts from a fan. So, and I respect the work the graphic designers do. It is not easy. Totally understand that. But
hashtag we love Lefty.
I love Lefty. He actually made a scheme for the Dr. Pepper.
The blue one.
Blue one, yeah, for the berry one.
Because
and it's
I saw because Phil Spain, I think I saw it, and he was like, Lefty, you got to do this. And when I saw it today, I texted Phil. I was like, it's for you.
I need to pull up the scheme because Lefty deserves some love here.
Gorgeous. Well, I think later on in the day, he did the regular Dr. Pepper, and then he did Suarez Coca-Cola.
Why am I
And
just seeing this? This is okay.
he is absolutely right when he says that soda cans look great on race cars.
They do. It's
They
no joke.
especially on the next gen.
You know what? We're gonna take a look at this, you guys. We're gonna almost as like it feels like a pause and station identification for MRN Motor Racing Network. But no, we're gonna look
This
at
is our
Lefty's
side.
Twitter and we're gonna tag him this because we love his designs
This is our
and he's
side quest.
fantastic. This is our side quest here. So we'll go onto my Twitter page. There we go. No, this is what he posted. Gorgeous. Like how? You know what I mean? Like
Wait, I didn't see the Pepsi one.
Oh no, the Pepsi one. Oh,
Oh,
so,
oh my gosh!
I'm gonna cry.
Look at
So
the trim, the two stripes on the nose of the Coca-Cola one. Oh my!
Everyone needs to hire Lefty. He's gonna like.
There's no stroke on the numbers, so it fits the logo.
These are above S tier. Lefty, if Lefty ever sees this, these are above S tier.
I think we have our G tier. I think
we
have God tier.
This is the true God tier. Oh my gosh, no, that's incredible. We were talking about. We're gonna scroll through here. Okay, this is the 99 Coca-Cola. Going all the way through. I am so sorry. Why can't I find it? Oh, here we go. This is for the the berry one. This one looks so pretty. So pretty. This I was like 2311 really needs to hire Lefty for this one because like I
love the McDonald's where it is too. I think that looks really good.
No, it looks great. So yeah, oh man, that's gorgeous. All right, I think thank you Lefty for bringing us joy. That's all I have to say because oh my god.
Every day.
Every single day. Just fantastic stuff. So yeah, we'll look at Cindric's car real quick while I get the thing pulled back up. But that brought me joy. That literally made my night, if anything, just seeing those. Gorgeous. Yeah, if those were throwbacks, they would win. But yeah, the Hendrick cars, I'm just gonna keep them where they're at. No, that's a lot.
Honestly, I have the same opinion really on all of them.
Okay, so we won't worry about that. I think A tier is where I get a little more like how is Brad rated that high? But like I said, the design of the car, like where like the blue is and where the white is, that is like almost on the dot of what Mark Martin
they changed the font. They changed the font. Yeah, honestly, I think this is the best that they could do, and at least in this one, the sponsor changed the color.
They did, which is true.
I'm starting to think that the blue on Brad's car is the blue that's in the sponsor on. I almost said Kenseth's car, Buscher's car. Because I think the color is corresponding with the sponsor. So I feel like it was a deeper blue when it was Viagra. Maybe I'm wrong.
I think Viagra's was a deeper blue, I think. So this is you still kind of can't make it out, but it looks like the sponsor here is maybe not blue.
Who's doing the silver bullet?
Silver. What do you mean?
Scroll down.
Oh. Okay. No. This is. Oh yeah, we have to talk about these still. This is. We'll get to them.
Oh my god! I forgot the truck ones are actually really good. They did the truck ones are really good.
Here, let's finish with this because I think we're good with the rest of this, and then we'll go through our truck and Xfinity paint schemes and be like, oh my god, these are gorgeous because they are really good this year. But
they are really good.
A is fine, I think. Oh, I need to share. Okay, there we go. A is I think fine where it's at S tier. Yeah. Do we agree? Like that's how we want it, or
the only thing I would change is put Harrison's in second.
I would Harrison's. Okay, I agree with you. Yeah. All right. So to finish this out before we go to our Xfinity and truck schemes, and we'll close out for the night. Bottom of the barrel. I shouldn't say that. D tier. Not going to be harsh. We have Cole Custer, Bubba Wallace, Austin Cindric, and we have Chase Briscoe. C tier. We have Chris Buescher, Kevin Harvick, and Kurt Busch. B tier is Kyle Larson. Then we have William Byron and Chase Elliott. We didn't know how we felt about those. We just kind of put them in B tier. A tier, we had Brad Keselowski and then Alex Bowman. And then S tier, winning Throwback Weekend so far, as these are not all the paint schemes that have been listed, is Kyle Busch, Harrison Burton, and then at the top, I think regardless of whatever else comes out, is going to be Corey LaJoie's with that 777 throwback scheme. So that's what we have for the Cup Series. Let's go on to what we saw on Darlington's website. The trucks, at least we'll start with the trucks. So the trucks hit it out of the park. I will say
this was one of the prettiest schemes I've ever Oh my gosh.
That's Haley Deegan's throwback to God, what is that? Is that no? It's not Mark Martin too, is it? Hold on, I wrote this
No,
down
it's
because
not
it was
Mark
one of my
Martin.
favorites. It's Bobby Allison, duh, Bobby Allison.
Yeah.
It looks so good.
And it looks really good. Simple.
Yeah,
Is it Bobby Allison?
it is Bobby Allison.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
I
looked this one up
don't remember
too.
any of his cars. So.
I looked this one up because I was like,
not
this is
born
one of my
yet.
favorites, but no, I
Oh,
wasn't.
is it okay? It's 16 car.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Perhaps.
We'll say it's
Perhaps.
16.
We'll say 16.
Who's gonna correct us?
It is the 16. I actually have the
Okay.
picture. I lied. I have the picture. Because
nice.
DGR came out with a something from Twitter that I pulled from on my notes that it is a 16 car. So we're good.
Rad.
No, it's gorgeous. I love it. So there's that one from the truck series. We got this is a throwback again to I believe this is Gordon. Again.
2007 had the best paint schemes. They really did.
So pretty. It's
is gorgeous. I think I have like a 187 diecast of that.
Oh really?
Somewhere.
It is pretty.
In a box.
Like it.
And it's pretty.
And then we have this one, Kyle Wright.
The sponsor.
The sponsor.
Whenever the sponsor hops on, it's great. And also Ron Hornaday, legend.
So good.
That's fantastic.
Where's the one that I want to see? Okay, this is one to. What is this one again? This is
Travis Pastrana.
Thank you, Travis Pastrana.
He's from the same home. He's from my hometown. So.
Oh no way!
He's from Annapolis.
Wow. Okay. Cool.
So, yeah, my dad was a Verizon technician.
Oh, that's awesome.
And he installed some sort of service in Travis's neighbor.
Oh no way!
House, and they're like, "Yeah, we hear some sort of motor every day." But yeah, he's rad. That's rad.
Also love Carson Hocevar. He's awesome too.
Oh yeah. I thought he was gonna throw back to a Montoya car or some sort of Ganassi 42 car.
Yeah.
And I was gonna get really excited, and then I saw this. I was like,
"It's so cool though.
I'll take it.
Cool.
I'll take it."
Are we gonna see is Stuart Friesen's up next? I really want that to be up next. Okay, no, not yet. But we have this one.
Who is that? Who's? I like it, but what's?
I don't know. Let's see. Truck. Let me look
like a
this
Starburst car.
It does. I like it. If you're in the chats and you know some of the truck throwbacks, let me know. Because I did some research here too. Words are hard. And I couldn't figure out what this one was, and I feel kind of silly because I can't do it. Huh. Yeah, we'll skip this one. We'll come back to it. We'll come back to it. The chat will come through. I know they will. Let's go. Okay, this one. This is Matt DiBenedetto's throwback. Really, really cool.
It looks good. I like a good silver bullet throwback. And the sponsor did their thing. Starcom did this a couple of years ago, and their sponsor, I think Starcom was their sponsor for that race. Yeah. So they jumped on board. So yeah, the silver bullet cars are always a win. I don't know if they changed the font for this.
So I'm looking up Sterling Marlin's,
because Sterling had two different fonts. It was like that old.
Let's see.
I mean, I'm gonna call it a serif font, and then they changed it to where it was more kind of a straight modern.
Right. This one.
It's close.
It's close. I would say it's close. It's slanted. I think it's close because he had some of his are slanted, some of them aren't. But no, this one. I mean, honestly, this one a little bit was is a carbon copy. I don't know. The Truck Series sponsors, my God, I mean, they kill it. They give them a lot of leeway. When we get to the Stuart Friesen one, you will see what I'm talking about because oh my gosh, it is so cool. But no, this one's a home run. Matt DiBenedetto has to be one of my favorite.
This like 3 years in a row.
Yeah,
they're doing the same one, and I don't know if it's an inverse of the regular, but I feel like it's an inverse of the regular.
It might be I think it's an inverse of the regular, which I'm like, eh.
And I don't know what significance it has.
This one's Ryan Preece. What's this? Do you know what this is throwback to?
I think I want to say it's a throwback to a mod, a modified car. Ryan Preece does a lot of stuff up north with us. He's unfortunately not one of my clients, but
We love Ryan Pace.
I've seen him a couple times. And I have actually I have a photo of him in his car over there. But yeah, I forget. I like this. I don't know who it's to, but I like it.
Oh, okay. I'm on Front Stretch's website. This is where I got a lot of my information from as well. Throwing it back, Reggie, Reggio?
Name doesn't ring a bell to me.
I'm sorry if I mispronounced the name. It didn't ring a bell to me. That's why I'm like, oh, I don't know. But you know what? Let me pull up that page real quick because maybe you guys can see and you'll be like, oh yeah, I definitely remember that. So let's see. There's an easier way to do this, Taylor. There we go. This is what he's throwing it back to. Right here. So it's very reminiscent of the original, which I love. Super cool. So, but yeah, the name didn't ring a bell to me, so that's kind of interesting.
It doesn't ring a bell to me either, but it's very fitting that Ryan would throw back to a mod. Again, I'm sure there are people that I know that probably personally knew this guy, but I don't recognize the name. Unfortunately, I will one day, I'm sure.
Now this one is exciting for me because I am a Waltrip fan. This is back to Waltrip's 1985 Charlotte Motor Speedway Hawaiian Punch Paint scheme.
Yeah,
I think
it looks good. Whatever year it was, it looks good.
It looks great. I love it. And I'm also a little biased, so that's also my 2 cents on that. The font.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, this one. Oh, go back. Okay.
I haven't seen a lot of these truck ones.
No, I haven't looked at the truck ones quite honestly either, so it's kind of fun to just do this like first impressions.
Is this Mark Martin?
I thought it was Mark Martin.
I'm almost certain it's a throwback to something in 2006, but I cannot remember who it is.
It screams 2006 though.
What? It does scream 2006. Honestly, the font screams 2006. It looks like something you would have created on like NASCAR 07.
So this is a throwback. He's honoring a crew chief. Honor a crew chief. Doug George with this throwback. Here, let me pull this up as well. See if we can get in on this a little closer.
Okay, that's not what I thought it was. But it looks good. I mean, the sponsor, did their thing. Yeah, it looks really good.
It looks like the original.
What I thought it was. To me, it looked like a Mark Martin Scott's car or
that's what
from like the mid 2000s, but I guess not.
So there's that one, and then we're back to the beginning. Now the Stuart Friesen one wasn't in this list, so I don't know if they haven't updated it or not, but I will show it.
That's really good.
Let me see. I'll open my Word doc here.
I think that's another modified throwback too.
It is a modified throwback. Let me do this.
I think when they said it, I didn't recognize the name, but
you were like, wait.
I only know like the current modified guys. I'm still very new to the world of the mods.
Yeah, I have not watched. I don't think I've watched. I've maybe watched one modified race. I've started to try to get into more of the dirt races. I've started watching ARCA more consistently, just because it's all a time thing. But like, man,
if you're gonna choose to watch one of the lower tier series, watch the mods, especially over ARCA, because it's less of it's straightforward. It's NASCAR open wheel racing, which I think is cool. Although they're they only race on short tracks. That does look really good.
This is what we're talking about.
It's to a dirt modified.
It's to a dirt modified. So this is throwback to Jack Johnson. This is also from Kyle Williams. @_Kyle Williams on Twitter. This is from his page where I got the picture. But no, it's beautiful. And the sponsor was on board with it, folks.
Exactly.
It changed everything. Like, it's beautiful.
I feel like Friesen's had really good throwbacks too.
He has.
And
insane.
The gradient and the number looks great. Again, I don't love gradients or chrome in numbers, but
it works.
It absolutely works.
No, that's good.
Yeah, this looks good.
Let me try to find it. Let's look at the Xfinity ones while we're at it. Because I think there's some, I'm a little biased with the Junior Motorsports cars because some of those are really good.
Junior Motorsports usually knocks it out of the park.
I will say
Okay.
that the one that they were showing at first, we'll go back to the okay. So well, first off, this is Sam Mayer's Throwback. I really like this one a lot. It's classy.
I
It is
thought this is
classy.
what Ross Chastain was going to throw back to. If I'm being
Oh,
honest,
really?
I thought that he was going to throw back to Rick Mast.
No. They haven't announced this yet, so I am curious what
No,
his is gonna be.
but the one card usually had, again, Junior Motorsports knocks it out. They had that Gatorade one last year that looked
Oh, that was
fantastic.
so
That
good.
Gatorade like
Oh,
came on as a sponsor for one race, changed it to their old logo. It just looked fantastic.
they did incredible with that, quite honestly. Um, let's see what else we got. What else we got? What's next? Okay, then we have the O2.
Okay.
I'm not necessarily. Let me look this up.
I don't know
Moffat.
what that is.
So Moffat's
It's
Throwback. Oh, Mark Martin. That's another Mark Martin. Duh.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay,
Okay.
okay, yeah. When he was a owner
This
driver.
is to his 82 car. When
Yes.
his rookie season.
Yeah, you're right.
So, I mean, and that's also very reminiscent too, if I'm remembering properly. Let me
Mhm.
pull it. Oh, and okay, I'm seeing a picture. It is very reminiscent. It looks basically exactly the same. So they did a good job with this
Understood.
one for Brett Moffat's. Thank you for clarifying. It is Mark Martin, correct? Thank you in the comments. Next one. Let's see. Okay, yeah, this is one I'm excited about. We all know what this is a throwback to, but the fact that it's also Hellman's for me because I'm a little bit of like a Hellman's fan. Oh, I love like favorite sandwich topping mayo. So like this is perfect for me.
This is where we massively differ, Taylor.
Oh no! Wait, okay. So
I cannot stand mayo.
no, okay, we can't be. I'm just kidding. We can still be friends. Like what?
That's Taylor. That's a weird criteria, but I guess I respect it.
It's like
But yeah, this looks fantastic.
with the Wrangler throwback. It looks so good.
I mean, a Junior Motorsports car throwing back to an Earnhardt is always going to look good.
Oh
Josh
yeah.
Berry's last year,
Oh,
with
so
the
good.
world, and was it the world? No,
Yeah,
it's
it
a
was.
All-Star Game one.
Yeah, it was so
Looked
good.
gorgeous.
Yeah, and Josh Berry again. I think he's next. Is he next on here? Because he also threw it out of the park. Oh, he's not next. What happened? Well, maybe he doesn't.
Because it's 07 before 8.
Gotcha. Okay. That's fair. Thank
I
you.
don't know what
I
this 07
panicked for
car
a
is.
second.
I don't know. Oh, Buckshot Jones,
Oh yeah.
which is very funny considering the sponsor.
I love it. Yeah, this one I'm not totally familiar with, so like that was
Yeah,
really
I'm
cool.
not either. I just know they said Buckshot Jones, and I saw the sponsor, and I was like, "That's really funny."
Hey, by the way, you're getting called out in the comments.
Rob is no human. My friends and I had a PowerPoint party a while
I want
back.
to do one of those so bad. You have no idea.
Can you imagine like a NASCAR PowerPoint party? That'd be hysterical.
Oh my god, that'd be so good.
But my PowerPoint was me describing how my internal conflict of am I a man or am I a Muppet? And the conclusion at the end was I am a Muppet. It was kind of an inside joke with like our friend group because
Oh my
the
gosh.
first thing we did when we all got quarantined is we got on Zoom together and watched the Muppet movie.
That is amazing.
Oh yeah.
That is incredible. I love the Muppets. I will tell you, like, when I go to Disney World, I am like a kid. I know the Muppets like ride isn't actually a ride. You just sit in the theater and you watch like a 4D presentation. I sit in there every time for like 3 hours. I kid you not.
My best friend and I mean, we're both almost 25 years old, and we're like, these are the guys. Anytime there's a Muppet spoof on SNL, I'm like, this gold.
I'm there.
Gold. It's fantastic.
Oh my! I need to do a PowerPoint presentation party sometime. I've been wanting to do one forever.
They're so much fun.
Oh my gosh! Well, here's the one I wanted to get to. I think if it's gonna load, or is my internet gonna go down? Is that what's happening? I'm so nervous if that's the case.
If you're good on here, then because I feel like this would go, your stream would go down before.
Oh, it would totally go down before. So I feel confident. I will say just because I'm, like I said, different location. There we go. Internet's not guaranteed here, so I'm very proud of how it's been able to hold up.
That looks really good.
This is the one that I am like, I think this is my favorite from the Xfinity series, not gonna lie. It's just gorgeous. And it's throwback to Dale's 2002 Busch Series win at Richmond. Dale Jr.'s. It's like they got everything back for it, which is fantastic.
That forward 8.
It looks so
The
good.
8 looks great. The 8 looks awesome. It literally it's a cartoon painted on a car, which I think is
It's
fantastic.
amazing. Oh, hey.
Anytime you can like do a scene, that's awesome.
No, and that's the thing too. Like they did the whole scene. I think they brought like some of the a character. They have characters on the car too, I think.
Yeah.
So you were also asked a very good question by NASCAR Taco Bell Cup Series. I gotta put this on the screen because it's too good to not have on the screen. What would your Muppet name? Wait, what would be your Muppet names if you was Muppet characters?
Great question. So this is for you too. This isn't just for me.
Oh crap, man! Now I have to be creative.
What a question.
Can I just be Taylor? Is that allowed?
No, none of them have like. I'm trying to think. I don't think any of them have like normal names. I would take Animal, but that's not it.
Taken. Oh, we have to think about our personalities here. I would say, okay, so here's maybe like I don't know why. I feel like I would either be called like grandma or like something like that. Because inside joke here, but anyone who knows me, I can either be like 8 years old or I can be 80, and there's no in between. So maybe that just because it fits like my need of like wanting to play board games all the time and like do card games, and I'm not a partier. I'm really not. I love the idea of a PowerPoint party because it doesn't like seem like a party. It's more like let's like do some work, put some things together. So maybe like grandma. I honestly don't know. Or the kitchen sink. Go ahead. Yeah.
I hate. Oh man, I don't know.
You could also play with the kitchen sink idea. Quite honestly, with me too. Like my Muppet character would be a kitchen sink. That'd be great.
Gretchen's a good one. Gretchen's a really good one, honestly. That's a good Muppet name.
Honestly, okay. So now
you might want to go with that.
I might go with Gretchen. I think they've thought about this their whole life. I think you've thought about this your whole life, and you're now ready to reveal to the world that you've been thinking about this.
Can it be a variation of my name already?
I say that's allowed. I don't know the Muppet rules, but I say go for it.
Then I will be Rob Lobster.
Oh my god, that's amazing. I say that's okay.
All right.
I say that's okay. So I am Gretchen. I've been told I look like a Robin. Someone my freshman year called me.
You resemble Robin from How I Met Your Mother. So
first off, that is my favorite show. That is my favorite show.
I love that show.
We'll have to talk about that afterwards then, because if you haven't watched How I Met Your Mother, okay, How I Met Your Father, we're not even talking about that. That's not even up for discussion. How I Met Your Mother, though. If you haven't
have you watched How I Met Your Father? It's not awful. It's just it misses the mark a little bit.
I refuse. Once the show ends, it ends. In my opinion, I can't.
You might. It's not a direct continuation. So you might. I don't know. It's worth a shot because there's little Easter eggs in it where it's like, oh, that's cute, and then there's a real big Easter egg where you're like, oh.
The swords. Is it the swords?
No, it's bigger than that.
We'll have to discuss this afterwards because we have to get into a conversation about this. Oh my goodness. Next one, the 08. This is
Bobby Daughter.
Bobby Daughter. What is this? The throwback to? That's the question.
It's to Bobby Daughter's car.
Oh, it is. Oh, wait, seriously. Oh gosh. Okay.
Because he owns the car.
Oh, okay. This all makes sense now. It's a fine throwback. That's fine.
Yeah, it looks good.
Okay. Now we have another Wrangler throwback. Now this one, the number looks fantastic. Jeremy Clemens.
Yeah, that looks really good.
That one looks good. This one, Yaley. I feel like we've had a throwback to this before, but maybe we haven't.
I feel like we have too. Is that another Country Time throwback? Because Country Time had a couple different
cars. This is Bobby Hamilton. This is a Bobby Hamilton 1993.
Okay. It looks, again, pink and yellow, beautiful. Purple and yellow on a race car. It pops. It looks fantastic. It's a yes from me.
And we're back to the beginning. So that's all that's been released so far.
They didn't have Emerlings?
Oh, well, let's see. How do you spell that again? Oh my gosh,
Emerling.
Okay, cool. Because I had it correct, and then I was like, "Wait, what's happening here?" Okay, I'll pull it up here. All right.
Because this one has been thrown back to a couple times. Steve Park did this in 2010, I think.
Interesting. Okay.
He did it at Daytona in July. But Steve Park was a modified guy. He was runner up in the championship a couple times before he got to Cup. He's got like 15 or 16 wins or something like that. And when he was driving, he drove for Tommy Baldwin, and Tommy Baldwin Racing is like one of the staples of Northeastern modified racing. There's still the 7 New York that races in about every modified division. They have, I think they have a weekly car at Stafford. There's one that still races in the modified tour. Yeah, it's just a really cool thing. And also that 7 font, that's my favorite. I love 7s on a race car. If it's 7 or 77, so it's a yes from me. But this looks really good. And again, it's thrown back to a mod, which is an automatic yes for me.
Yeah, we'll have to go through the paint schemes when they all come out next week. I wanted to get an early take on it just because I know there's still a lot out already. And the next week, planning everything is going to be pretty hectic. So, well, yeah, that was our ranking of the throwback paint schemes. This is a really good one. Obviously in the comments below, let us know what you like. We're going on our time to close this out, you guys. So, well, let's see. I want to thank first off our partners for this episode, SRI Performance, PFC Brakes, DoorDash, and Rhino.co for being part of this episode and for being supporters of TobyChristie.com as well. And then also you can find us on social media. Rob, what is your social media handle? Because I know you changed it.
Yeah, I just changed it because it had the year 2021 in it and is no longer 2021.
It is not.
Now, my Twitter and my Instagram are both at On Brand, but Brand has 2 N's because my last name is Branning, so it has 2 N's. Yeah, and those I only really use Twitter and Instagram. If there's anything else I do, you'll see it on there. But you won't see it anywhere else.
Yeah, make sure I'm pretty sure I have the link to your Twitter in the description. That'll be below of this video and below the video, and I'll also add your Instagram there too. So make sure you follow Rob there. Follow us too. My handle on Twitter _TaylorKitchen_ for we do race polls after the races, fan questions. We had a really good one that I just put I think a few days ago about your guys' favorite diecast that you guys have, and I loved looking through those. We'll probably do another one like those this week. Obviously, then Above the Yellow Line on YouTube and our Instagram page is just straight Above the Yellow Line. And then finally, obviously, follow us here at TobyChristie.com on the YouTube channel and check out TobyChristie.com for other great motorsports content. But yeah, this has been the stream. Thanks for sticking with us. Let us know your favorite Darlington schemes in the comments below. And thank you all so much for joining. Enjoy race weekend this weekend, and also Mother's Day as well. Have a great Mother's Day, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.